Hey guys, and welcome to episode 16 of Surg's Skyblock. I'm over here at my mob farm and I'm just kind of going through stuff, making sure that that everything's running smoothly. You can see here I'm almost full up on gunpowder here, and bones are getting pretty full, arrows are getting pretty full, zombie flesh. Lots of zombie brains, and a whole bunch of these miniature hearts. If you remember last episode, we were making casts for our smeltery. So let's go ahead and get back into that. Okay, so I have quite a few casts now, and they're all ingot casts, and for a specific reason. I also put a chest down here so I can store some of my extra stuff while I don't necessarily need it, like the aluminum brass. I also probably don't need those blank patterns. So, and fluid ducts I don't really need right this second. So here's what I want to do. I want to actually use the smeltery here to take care of my metals. But there's a little bit of a downside to using the smeltery. I have to be careful of what metals I put together. Like, for instance, aluminum brass. If I put copper and copper and tin? If I put copper and tin together, then I'll end up with bronze, or I could end up with aluminum brass. It was aluminum and copper. So I have to be careful of that too. So I can't put like aluminum, copper, or tin together, because, especially with copper, because I'll end up with bronze or aluminum brass. Iron and ferrous, I'll end up with invar. Silver and gold, I'll end up with electrum. So I have to be really careful on what metals I mix together. So for this particular smeltery, you can see here now we have a full tank of lava. Let's go ahead and set this one up. So what I'd like to do is just right here, I'm going to go ahead and put some item ducts. And I actually don't want it to connect right there. So we're just going to come straight from this chest and go down. And then right here, we're going to have it go straight into this controller. And the way that I want it to go is I actually need a pneumatic servo. So let's go ahead and install that. And you can see here we have 9 spots that we can put in here. And I want to put in whitelist mode. So let's go grab what we want to go into the first one. So let's see. So I want copper. So we're going to need all 3 types of copper. I want iron. So we're going to need all 3 kinds of iron. And copper and iron have no problem. They're not going to mix together. And then we also want silver. Let's see if we can find silver. So these 3 will not mix together. So that's what we're going to put in this smeltery. So we'll do copper, 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 iron, 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 and this silver. So let's go ahead and go back upstairs. Actually, since we're down here, what we can do is go ahead and close that off and hook this up. And you know what? Because this comes down right here, there we go. I don't want this to connect. So let's go ahead and close that off. And let's just go, put that there. Let's just go straight this way. Because, I need a place for my fluid duct to run, so I don't really want to go right here. Because eventually I will need to run this that way. So let's just go straight off this way. And once we go upstairs, we can go ahead and wrench this to be an output. And we'll throw these back in here. And if we grab a pneumatic servo and just go ahead and throw that in there and tell this to ignore redstone signal, it should only pull out the iron here, copper, and silver. It will leave everything else in here. And we can grab our bricks back. And if we watch, they should start to make their way in here. It might take just a second. And if we need to, we can always add another layer if this needs to be taller. So let's wait, and it should start showing up in here. It might take just a second because it is going a good little distance. There we go. So you can see here now, obviously, since we just pulled out a whole bunch of stuff, it's obviously going to fill up this smelter really quickly because we weren't doing anything with the metals that are in here. But when this is actually running, we shouldn't have a problem because it's going to continuously pump them out and into into our smeltery. So let's give this a second, and it should go ahead and melt down. And what I want to do is I want to actually put a bucket here. And you can't make bucket casts. That would kind of be cool, but you can't. So now we have some iron, and hopefully that's enough for one bucket. Nope, doesn't look like it is. So it's going to have to make its way back down here. It looks like it's pumping a whole bunch of stuff. So what I need to do is I need to wait until I have 1 bucket's worth of iron. So while that's doing its thing, it'll go through, it'll fill this up probably with whatever gets here first. And then, it'll just continuously melt down stuff. Looks like iron and some copper. Now, like I said, this stuff doesn't mix together, so what'll happen is you have molten iron, and then you have just copper on top of it. So while that's doing that, I'm actually going to need a couple more pneumatic servos. So let's go ahead and make those. You know what, let's just make, we'll grab 16, 8, and we'll just grab a whole stack of glass. Why not? Actually, that's what we should do. Let's just make a whole bunch. Because these servos, I mean, they're something that I'm going to need quite a bit of. So there we go. Plenty. And we can go ahead and just throw these back. So I don't need the iron. And okay, so that's all my item ducts. So I might have to make a few more in the way of item ducts here shortly. I'll have to make some more obsidian, and that'll take a little while. So there we go. So now we have 14 ingots. Let's see if that's a bucket. That is a bucket, at least. So it looks kind of funky, but when we give it a second, there we go. And now we have a bucket of iron. So what we want to do is go ahead and grab, I need those fluid ducts. We want to go ahead and grab a fluid duct here. And I'm going to hook this up here. And I'm going to install a pneumatic servo. And what I'm going to do is tell this to whitelist iron. And that's why I needed a bucket of molten iron. So now what I should be able to do is, let's see, how do I get this back out? I don't think I can just throw it back in here, right? Will that melt up? No. I might need to take a tank and put it on here and pour it back in. So, for right now it's fine. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and wrench this and tell it to ignore redstone signal, and there we go. See, we have an ingot. It will go ahead and pour iron directly into here, and we're getting ingot. So what we want to do now is take our item ducts, and let's go ahead and go right under these tables with our item ducts, and we'll go right here too. And I actually don't want that one to connect right there. And I'm going to tell this to go ahead and this is an output. And we're put our pneumatic servos in. 1, 2, 3. And just for right now, I'm only going to configure this one because it's the only one that's working right now. So we go ahead and ignore redstone signal. So if we go upstairs, we should be able to take some more item ducts and go ahead and run them right over. I might have enough, I might not. No, it doesn't look like I have enough. No, I need 2 more. Well, let me go ahead and make some more item ducts. See, there we have silver, we have iron, and we have the copper. So let me make a couple more item ducts, and I'll be right back, and we're finished getting all of this configured. Okay, I made 3 more stacks of item ducts just because that's what half a stack of obsidian makes. So now we should be able to go ahead and just like that, and if we wait, we should see the iron ingot start to make its way. There it goes. And what happens? It makes another iron ingot. And that goes out. And then makes another iron ingot. And that one goes out. Awesome. So we don't even need to worry about smelting it or anything. It's just going to go ahead and make iron ingots and pump them out. Now, I did go... oh, no. I don't want it to do that. I do need these here first. So I did go and make a portable tank too. Let's go ahead and disconnect that. And let's take our portable tank and we just set it right here. And I should be able to put this bucket back in here and then wrench this and it goes back into there. Which is fine. Exactly what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to go back into the tank, the smeltery here. So let's go ahead and grab, oh, there we go. We'll grab this ingot just so it's out of there. So now what I want to do is I kind of want to get all of, okay, so we have copper now. So let's go ahead and throw a bucket down here, and if we right click, now we're getting copper. So we should get a bucket of copper, and there we go. So let's go ahead and install a pneumatic servo, since we already have the fluid duct here. We're installing a pneumatic servo, and we're tell it to whitelist molten copper, and ignore redstone signal. So we can go ahead and connect that back up, and go ahead and tell it output. And there we go. We should have ingots of copper now being made. So we have our ingots of iron that'll make right here. And then our ingots of copper. And let's look. We still have iron in here. So you can see here a lot of the copper came out. Now, it's not going to do anything because silver is at the bottom. So if I click on the iron, then the iron will start to come out. And then I can click on the copper, and the copper will start to come out. But we still need to deal with the silver. So first, what I need to do is I need to get these... I need to get this set up so that way it automatically pulls out. Ignore redstone signal. So our copper ingots should start getting pulled out. Where's our copper? Oh, you know what? I bet you it's a different kind of copper. So what we need to do is we need to make space for it. Let's go ahead and grab one. There we go. Yeah, see, it's industrial craft copper. And what we have in here in the barrels, I bet you is a different kind of copper. But that's okay. We can take care of that. Yeah, see, we probably have thermal expansion copper. So let's just go ahead and grab this copper, and we'll throw one of those in there. Now, I know it's a lot of work to do that, but it's one of those, I mean, once it's automated, it's automated. You know, we don't have to worry about it. So what we can do now is now this copper should start working. We should start seeing, yeah, there we go. Copper ingots are flowing through the pipe. Now, it just means that I'm going to have to resmelt down this copper, which is fine. I'll do that a little bit later, probably between episodes. So we'll go ahead and throw all of this here, and let's go ahead and take this and our portable tank here. And what I'm actually going to do... Yeah, I think I need to break this, don't I? So let's go ahead and put this back here. And I want to put my portable tank right here. Go ahead and throw the copper in there and get it back into the smeltery. So now here, I need one more bucket, and we need to get the silver. So silver's on the bottom. So let's go ahead this time and go ahead and put a fluid duct here. And what we can do is go ahead and wrench it so that it should output the silver once we put a pneumatic servo in it. Why does it keep picking up my crescent hammer? So there goes the silver. And I actually want to disconnect that just for the moment. And what we can do now is we actually need the ingot cast. Go ahead and throw that down here. And it'll go ahead and make an ingot of silver. And we actually want this silver because this is IC2 silver too. So we're going to have to make sure that we get that configured as far as the barrels. Ah! No! I'm going to die! Why? Oh, that went all my stuff. All of those item ducts. Great. Okay. Well, I think that's a good wrapping up point for this episode. You guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. I'm going to have to clean up this silver here, this molten silver that basically is like lava. I'm going to go clean that up and configure this so that way the silver goes to the barrels, just like the copper and the iron did. You know what, let me... Okay. get over here and stand in water. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that configured, and we'll come back next episode. We'll go ahead and set up the rest of them. I need at least 2 more smelteries because I can't mix, like I said, I can't mix certain metals together. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that, I will see you guys later.